Hello, hello, welcome back to the vlog. Happy weekend. Well, it's not the weekend when you're watching it, but it's the weekend when I'm filming it. So this weekend, I am shooting my friend Hafsa's wedding celebrations. You met Hafsa last week, and she eloped or had like a little micro wedding last fall, and this weekend she's like celebrating with all of her friends and family. It's gonna be so fun. She has like such a beautiful vision. She's a professional florist, so the flowers and everything are gonna be absolutely beautiful. I can't wait. I'll take you along for the bits and pieces of that. And other than that, hopefully it's a beautiful weekend again. It's like so nice and sunny. I'll probably go for a little walk today before getting ready for wedding stuff, but it's nice to ease into my season. This is my first kind of like wedding celebration. It's not like a traditional like all day long situation. It's like a few different events throughout the weekend. So it's nice to ease in this way versus like jumping off the bat with like a full blown wedding. That's next weekend and I'm so excited about that one. It's gonna be off island, like near Northampton, Mass. So stay tuned. Okay, I want to take you along for my journey of finding the perfect cowboy boots for summer. So initially I had been like oogling, eyeing, hemming, hawing over these beautiful ones from Dolce Vita. This is what they look like. So cute. And I tried them on and they fit my foot, but the boot itself was a lot tighter around my calf than I expected, which meant, and they're very high, they went up to like my knee here. And I guess I have thicker calves than I realized. I just don't have many like tall boots at all, so I haven't ever thought about my calf thickness. And I really couldn't, like, they felt tight and I couldn't tuck as many jeans. Like I could tuck skinny jeans, but I couldn't tuck any of my like regular jeans into the boot. And I realized that just wasn't the look I was going for, especially for how expensive they were. I was like, I need these boots to be absolutely perfect and I want to be excited to wear them and I want them to be like effortless, that kind of shoe. So even though I hate having to return things, I'm like, it's not the right fit. So I ordered another pair from Free People that look a little bit shorter and they look wider and they don't like taper in around the ankle. So that could either be really cute or a disaster. We'll have to see. I'll take you along for that journey. But I would much rather, I'm getting to the age, I'd rather buy one thing that I really want and I'm obsessed with than get like a mediocre version and then end up wasting it. That just feels like a waste of money. So trying to find the perfect cowboy boot. Will keep you posted. But these ones are beautiful. They just weren't the right thing. They're just a little too tight, a little too big. So we're back to the drawing board. All right, here is today's outfit. I've been loving, I got this like oversized denim shirt from Old Navy. They're always having a sale, so never buy anything from their full price. I think there's like, yeah, there's literally always a sale. We got a little black tee, my favorite jeans. These are the Everlane Way High jeans. I'm just wearing these fuzzy Birks for like around the house and this fun like little carpet bag. I'll probably change into sneakers realistically because I'm gonna go take a little walk. But I feel like this is the perfect spring layering. And kind of to the theme I was talking about last week with like jazzing up neutral style. So I would say at my core, like this could be a very basic, like cute outfit that I would love to wear. Just like this tee, the gold jewelry, the jeans, even if I did like a white sneaker. And I could even layer this on top, but I feel like having like a little piece of flair, like this carpet bag vibe that I thrifted, brings a little bit of like a little pop of personality. So that is my kind of like go-to MO these days, is start with a really classic basic outfit that I know I love, wear, feel comfortable in, and then like jazz it up one little piece of spice or two pieces of spice. Like I would say if I was out and about in these like little fuzzy Birks, that would be a little piece of spice. The bag, little piece of spice. You can do sunglasses, fun earrings, maybe take away the bag and the shoes and do like a fun top under this. You know, choose your spice accordingly. Start with the basics and then add flair if you're in the mood. And whatever flair is speaking to you that day. am wearing my traditional all black wedding photographer garb. Very excited. It's a gorgeous afternoon. All right, let's go do this. Got Ma here for mug of the week. Cheers, m'lady.
Cheers.
This is another Eve Krista creation, and this is from Campfire Studio. I had one of their mugs at the Speckled Axe in Portland, and then I was influenced. You brought over some of your finest
Freshly squeezed grapefruit
juice. So we're gonna enjoy that in my little like thrifted glasses, which you also saw me acquire. Today has been extremely low key. I did a bunch of cleaning that took a few hours, but it felt very satisfying. Is there anything better than that feeling of when you're not like rushed or anything? You just slowly clean your space. Everything feels right in the world and all the smells are right. I just love it. And then tonight I have Hafsa's like wedding dinner celebration. It'll be less shooting than yesterday, but I'm very excited to go do that. But I'm kind of feeling it's like gray out. I'm feeling a little low energy. I've been really trying very hard to do daily walks, and it's been so good for my like mental health. So, but today I'm really trying to like get better at discerning, because like the obsessive part of me wants to like hit that goal every day, but I'm like, I'm just not feeling there. There's nowhere I want to walk. It's cold, it's chilly, like, and I know I have something to do later on, so I'm just like, it's okay for me to take a day, because I think tomorrow I'll be even more excited to go for a walk. I think tomorrow I'll probably do something more like oceany. So yeah, just kind of a non-visual day so far. Krista, what are you up to right now?
Just this is Palo Santo. I'm just Palo Santoing the area after I mopped it.
Very nice.
Yeah.
We also might have a ghost in our new home.
I mean, we don't actually have a ghost in our. We don't actually have a ghost.
But
if anything, it's Chet.
And you guys met Chet last week. Good morning, happy Sunday. I'm off to go photograph the last event of Hafsa's wedding weekend. It's a cute little brunch. And then I might try to go to an estate sale with my mom. We'll see how the timing shakes out. It's a brunch, I'm rocking a less formal look. I've got these fun trousers plus this vest that I'm obsessed with. Hafsa is a floral designer, so I figured I would go with the motif, do something fun and funky. This is Madewell, and then these two pieces are this brand Somersault. They're kind of known for their bathing suits, but they have really great basics that have lasted me forever. So big fan. These two pieces were gifted. This one I purchased. I always like to be transparent about that. All right, we are in line for this estate sale. Mom, you wanted to show us something that you brought?
The mega bag.
The mega bag. And what's special about it? Wow, it really is mega.
Well, you could say that these are rhubarb leaves, or you could say that they're kale, but I consider them to be rhubarb leaves.
Very nice.
Thank you.
As you can see by the items behind us, my mom and I were super successful. I was gonna film like inside, but it was literally so crazy, like so busy, packed, pretty overwhelming. Like this gal who puts these estate sales together is like very popular and like posts all the items on Facebook. So people like really get into it. So inside it was hectic. Just one of those moments where you kind of have to like disassociate to be in there. But the treasures were good. So I'll definitely show you what I got. Hint, it's the chair and a few other little things. And my mom also got some chairs. All right, this is what I got at the estate sale. Isn't she a beauty? I'm very, very excited. I feel like it'll all come together once we could put art on the wall and it will balance it all out, but I love it. And it's 1,000 times comfier than our couch, so that's good. And I also got this adorable strawberry pitcher, which I feel like will be perfect for flowers. Good morning, it's Monday. Today I have a little photo shoot and then we're recording our podcast later today. Then I have a little meeting, so it's a full day of activities. So I'll take you along for the ride, because I do. Hello. Okay, so we're gonna start a new segment of the vlog called Current Obsessions. It's exactly what it sounds like, and it is not groundbreaking. However, I personally love these and I love hearing other people, so we're gonna weave it into the vlog. And also, quick plug for the podcast that I co-host. We did an episode called Current Obsessions. We did share some of ours as co-hosts. However, most of the episode was our listeners' current obsessions, so that was really fun, and it was a really good show to get good recommendations for like TV, movies, podcasts, shopping, just other random things to try. So if you're like in a mood to like dabble, I'll link that episode below. The show is called Gal Pals, and it's great because it's me. Just kidding, it is great, but that's because of the dynamic I have with my co-host, and it's lovely. It's like, I talk about it a lot here, but it's the conversations that you'd have like in therapy, but they're with your best friend who also loves going to therapy. So if you're someone who likes talking about their feelings and unpacking and dissecting the experience of life, and you are in the millennial female demographic, then I think you would highly enjoy it. And obviously that's not exclusively for millennial women, but that is probably the majority of our listeners. So that's our show, and we did a current obsessions episode. So I'm gonna dive into my current obsessions, and you probably already know some of these because here's the thing, I figured this out about my personality. I knew this before, but this is how it came up. There's kind of a thing where I don't watch a lot of new TV, and I like to watch things that I've already seen. It's kind of annoying. Like, I want to watch something new, but I have a hard time starting something new. And this is what I realized with how I consume media and why it can be challenging to try to start something new. I have a personality type, and I don't think I'm unique in this. However, when I give my full attention to something, it can be a lot for me and everyone else. So, for example, one of my current obsessions is the show Succession. I just started watching it, and I'm caught up to it for the most part. I'm like on episode 2 of season 4. I've been watching this like with my pretty full attention. Sometimes I'll be scrolling on my phone, but for the most part, I'm sitting down and I'm watching it. I'm not like doing something else while I'm watching, and I like look forward to it. And I try to only watch like an episode or 2 at a time because they're long. And because I've given my full attention to it, I am obsessed with it. I knew I would like the show because it's all of my interests. It's also extreme, like the show creator, Jesse Armstrong, is British. So I'm like, that checks out. There is a lot of Britishness about the show. I find that British media, especially TV, there's like a darkness to the humor that obviously American humor can be dark, but British humor is like another level of dark that this has. And there's a darkness that I'm like essentially British, and a dryness that's very British, and like everything gets worse all the time. And I feel like in normal American TV, it's like something happens, you know, the conflict moment happens, it gets really bad, and then it gets resolved at the end. With British like comedies and dark comedies, I find that they are unrelenting. There's no fairy tales. It's like it starts like relatively low, and then it gets worse, then it gets worse, and it ends on like in the basement, and you're just like, whoa, that's dark, and like you don't get as much resolution. That's an observation I've made. I don't know if that's necessarily true, but if you're someone who watches British and American TV, especially comedies, let me know if you find that to be true, because I know I have some British watchers. So I find, and again, like with this show, now that I am into it, I'm like watching all the YouTube videos, I'm watching interviews with all the cast, I'm like learning about how it was made. Like I can't think about anything else, and it's exhausting. Like, so I just feel like watching, like absorbing something new into my ecosystem is a full-time job. So sometimes I can't do anything. This isn't fully true. I'm being dramatic here, but I find it hard to do something without going all, like if I'm putting my full attention, it's like, it's all consuming. So sometimes I find, especially I'm like thinking about the way I do my work and social media and balancing photography and social media and like other things, I feel like part of that is a coping strategy for me to not be obsessive with one thing. Like if I just was doing photography and I didn't have any social media, I would like make it so much my person, like I wouldn't be able to escape, and I feel like I would be drowning in this one thing. So I like to have lots of things going to help me manage that obsessive, like manage that energy and feel excited about new things, because I also love to start things. The keeping up with it and the finishing isn't always my favorite part. I'm not original in that, but that's just a whole spiel to say that like it's hard for me to like just kind of like something. It's like I either am not interested at all, or I'm like, that's the only thing I can think about. So these are the different things that are currently making up my entire personality at this very moment. And then unfortunately, like once I stop thinking about it, it's done, it's gone, it's dead, and I'm no longer interested, which is obnoxious. And that's extreme too. It's not fully true, but I like that's why I'm like kind of loving that the term era is like a part of our colloquial speech at this point. I feel like Taylor Swift is someone who made that very popular, and the way she does her music and marketing around her music is very similar. Like she is someone who's crossed a lot of genres, and for each album it is a whole world and a whole aesthetic and a whole, you know, ecosystem. It's not just the music, it's everything around the music that creates this whole like storytelling aspect. I think she's gonna, my theory is she's gonna get into film directing, by the way. And I think her doing that, and like people started talking about her Reputation era in particular, and like, oh, I'm in my Reputation era, because that was a very specific moment in time when she was like, had a very dark, moody, like, this is like a, I'm at my bottom and I'm crawling my way back up and I'm like owning my shit era. And so that kind of became like part of speech. And then, you know, someone who I follow, JC Marie Smith, who like uses that phrase a lot. I really think she was a huge part of that phrase becoming popular, because I know a lot of like big influencers also follow her. So I mean, I'm not a big influencer, but I'm influenced by her, and so many people are. And that word really, like, I noticed her using that word and the Taylor Swift connection. And I think those two things, like, now everyone uses it in that way. And I highly relate, because I feel like, yeah, era traditionally is like a huge period of time. But now I love that it's used in a more colloquial, like low-key way, where it's like, I'm currently in my lavender iced matcha era, and what that means is that is the only drink I'm drinking right now. I would love to be the kind of person who can go to a restaurant and like switch it up, but once I find something I like, I want it all the time. It is what it is. And I'm not always like this, but it's like, if I've latched on, I'm latching. So my first obsession is, as you know, this lavender iced matcha with Oatly. It's delish. I'm gonna take a sip right now. Next era, and this is kind of what inspired me to do this little segment, because someone had asked about this camera that I had talked about, because I brought it to LA with me, and I got some of the photos printed, and I was like a little bit nervous that because it's a little bit lower quality than my professional camera, I wasn't sure how the prints would come out, if they would be high quality, but they are beautiful. This is like an 8x8, so I don't know how big I could blow them up and still retain the quality, but and there's grain that was built into the settings when I took the photo, and it looks good printed. Sometimes grain can look shitty printed. Sometimes it can look good. I use it, try to use it sparingly and like a little bit. I love the effect and what it looks like, but it looks good. It looks really good printed. I'm like very excited about these. I still haven't hung them up yet. But that's just to say, like, this camera is the real deal. I'm obsessed with it. It is the Fujifilm X100V. I think there is a lot of hype around this camera, and maybe there's other Fujifilm cameras that I'm not considering as much. This is the first and only Fujifilm I've ever used. And it's set up a lot like a film camera in terms of its settings. You can use it on auto, or you can, you know, shoot manually, which I prefer because, you know, you can control more things. It's a fixed focal length lens, which means this is the only lens you can use with it. It equals about, I think it says it's like a 23 millimeter, but because it's a crop sensor camera, it really looks more like, which just means that you can have a wider lens and it will like kind of basically crop the photo within the sensor because it's only so big. So it really just shakes out to be about a 35 millimeter camera if you're used to using like a full frame camera. I mean, sorry, 35 millimeter lens if you're used to using a full frame camera. So I think that's one of the most versatile lenses you can have if it's a prime fixed lens. So there's no zooming or anything, there's no change in the lens, this is what it is. There are some things that you can put on top of the lens to like make it look more zoomed in or maybe wider, I don't think so, but I think to crop it even more to get a different look. But I find the 35 to be very useful and versatile. This is a camera, when I do use it in professional settings, it's literally just like an add-on bonus. Like if they wanted something more film-like, again, it's not film, it is a digital camera. However, you can set the like color, tone curve, lots of different settings in the camera. So it's like you're editing before you're even taking the photo. So it's kind of like having, if you're familiar with presets, which is like a recipe of different edits that you can like repeat and put on any photo. It's like having a preset within the camera. And there's a few different, what they call film simulations, which is like different coloring to look like film. You can choose your film simulation and then on top of that, choose some other edits, like how much grain you'd want, as well as like temperature, highlight curve. You can change the white balance and change around the colors a little bit within the camera. And there's sites like, I think it's called like FujiX Weekly, that has film recipes, which is the colloquial term for this camera to refer to the different like presets. So there's someone who's gone through and like tried to emulate different styles of film. So you're like, okay, I like the Portra 400, and you look it up on the FujiX Weekly and it says like, oh, change the white balance to this, change the tone curve to this, and use this film recipe. So there's only so many film recipes. I mean, change the film simulation. There's like, I think probably like 6 or so film simulations within the camera that's baked in, and then you can additionally change a bunch of things to emulate different styles of film. So that's all to say, this thing is really fun. It took a second for me to get used to the different settings. It's funny because my professional camera is lightning fast. It focuses so fast. I can use like, and I'm so used to the handling of it that I can work really quickly with that camera. This is a lot slower. It focuses slower. The settings are slower. The ergonomics of it are not great. It's like weird to hold. Like you have to change the aperture with the wheel. The ISO, you pull up the shutter speed ring and then you change the ISO this way, and then the shutter speed is this dial. So it's not as easy to use as a lot of like professional mirrorless cameras are, but in that way it's also kind of nice. It slows you down in the same way that film cameras are built a lot like this, and it slows you down. So I find this to be, if you're like, okay, is this camera for me? This is not a camera you're bringing that you could shoot a whole wedding and just on this and you're good to go and that's professional. No, it only has one card slot to start with, so it's not really a professional camera. It's a crop sensor, which just means it's not like super high quality in terms of all the lights that's getting let in. I forget how many like megapixels it is, but it's a great camera. It's not a professional camera. And this is a really, what I would use this for is like my social media, anything just for fun, travel, family photo, like my personal kind of taking photos with my friends and family. This is just like an everyday great digital camera for someone who is, maybe you're a professional photographer and you want something different and unique and you want to like kind of go out of your comfort zone. This is a great camera for you. If you want to add a little spice to your galleries and you are intimidated by film, this could be a great start. Or maybe you love film but you know it's so expensive and you wanted to, and like the whole timing of it all, this can be great because you still get that really cool aesthetic look without having to worry about the actual film. So love this thing. It is expensive and I paid way too much for it. I love it. Again, if it's in your budget, it's around, I think retail, it's like retailing at like $1,400. You know, I wish it wasn't so expensive. For me, it's totally worth it. It's part of my business, it's a business expense, and I value this kind of stuff all the time and I've been using it nonstop. However, if you're like hemming and hawing, I understand the price tag is really steep. I would say that camera, the show Succession, I've been like dabbling in country music, this matcha here. Honestly, this color, like I've been totally inspired by this like lemon yellow. I have like a little bowl of lemons on the table for visual purposes truly only. I've just been like loving yellow lately, which has always been like one of my least favorite colors, so that's fun to like switch things up. I'm not in like full obsessed mode. Quilted anything. I've been loving vests. I've been renting a lot of vests from Nuuly. I think they're like so fun and different. Not different, but like they can easily layer. They're a great thing for spring. I feel like the 70s look is like very popular right now. I mean, different eras I feel like are always coming into trend. But I've been loving like the best quilted stuff. I really love all the denim. Like that is a trend that I think everyone can pretty much participate in because most people have like denim jackets and, you know, jeans. So you can really like play that up and really like go denim on denim. And I love the cut. I feel like there's a lot of denim shirt and jacket styles, like so it's very oversized as well as like kind of a chore coat look. So I'm loving that. I'm really loving the style right now. I feel like there's this shift. There was like all these like super hyper high speed trends in like, you know, during the pandemic almost. And I feel like TikTok like elevated the trend cycle so fast that people got like sick of it. So I think there's a real push towards more personal style and back to basics and neutrals. There's always gonna be like little trends going on here and there, but I think that people are looking less the same and kind of just trying to find out what's true for them. Also loving the cowboy boots trend. As I mentioned earlier in this vlog, on the hunt for the perfect pair. Still haven't found it, so I will report back when I find my dream pair of cowboy boots. But I feel like they really go with so many different outfits and have a quintessentially like summer feeling to them. I hope they are a trend that sticks around for a little while. So those are some of the things that I am currently obsessing over. Let me know in the comments what you're loving. I'd love to hear what you cannot get enough of. I'm gonna wrap up the vlog here. Thank you so much for watching. I love YouTube. Speaking of current obsessions, this is also like a year-long obsession. I have been loving making these videos. Again, it's something I've always kind of wanted to do in the back of my mind, but I was always too scared to start, and I knew that I would have a small platform, and you know, it's a little humbling to the ego when you've been on social media for a while and you're like starting a new platform, and but it's so worth it. And so if you're someone out there and you're a YouTube lover and you enjoy watching vlogs, I highly recommend just making them. It doesn't matter if you have a huge following. I don't have a huge following. It's just about having fun and getting creative. And I literally go back and I rewatch my old vlogs. That's how much I enjoy them. And it's been so fun to like have this like home video basically of different like weeks in my in my life. And I remember, you know, my mom did such a good job when we were kids of documenting our life. And I just love getting to go back through them. I love all these scrapbooks that my mom has and has put together when we were kids. And now I love getting to create my own documentation and share it with people and connect over things that we love. So tell me what you're currently obsessed with right now. I'd love to hear. I want to try something new. I definitely need some new music. I want to create like a summer playlist for myself. So if you have any artists that you're loving right now, I love a lot of genres, honestly. So just drop them all. I don't care. I feel like I really want to try something new. I have to be in the right mood to try new music, but when I am, I'll look through our list and I'll check it out. So thank you so much for watching. As always, you guys are the best. Love ya!